Welcome to Game Club. I'm your host, Deontay of Deontay Variety. We're going to talk about South of Midnight right now. I'm going to have some gameplay going in the background. I believe this is like level 3 or something. Let's lower the volume a
Okay,
little bit.
nice.
Um, but yeah, so
Oh,
this is a
how
game that we've all been able to play, I believe. Has anyone not completed it? Did everyone get to beat the game?
I beat it.
I did not. I've been trying to run it on my laptop, but there's a lot of things on my laptop right now. So what I'm probably gonna do is just uninstall a lot and then spend late afternoon or evening today just grinding it out.
what chapter did you get to?
Wait, me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh no, I didn't get it. I couldn't install it. I didn't have
Oh,
anything. There's no
Oh.
space.
okay,
Oh, all bad. Wait, so you didn't get to
okay,
play at
got
all?
it.
No, I did watch a couple of streams with it,
Oh,
but
you watched it.
I didn't get. I only watched up until the tree, but I stopped after that.
Okay.
When you meet the catfish,
Okay, got it,
Fairly
got it.
early, basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
So early, yeah. So I'm
Um,
missing a lot of context for stuff, but it's good. I'll play
yeah.
through it and I'll learn.
So
Yeah, I
it's
finished as well.
yeah. This one apparently for me took 28.7 hours. I think that's probably some me being idle and stuff like that. I
Did you
know I
finish?
spent um 10 hours. Yeah, I beat it. It took me
Damn.
10 hours over the last week to get to where I was. So from chapter, where was I at? From chapter 4 to the end, which is 10 chapters, it took me about 10 hours.
And that was from you playing yesterday, right? Because that's where.
I had done one chapter before then,
Oh, okay.
but bulk of it was yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah, I got through.
Okay.
It's supposed to be like a. It says 10 to 12 hours to beat it, and then if you try to do completion and stuff, which I realized kind of as I was going along that like there's really not much point to being a completionist in this. So I was just like,
Not
let me just
really.
beeline it, and go through. But yeah, got through everything. Um,
Impressive.
so what are people's impressions?
I got some different screenshots that I took. I'll share it all during the chat in the chat room.
Oh, cool, cool.
This first one is of catfish. Nice little photo moment before they didn't have a photo mode yet, so I did my own photos.
I got the gameplay sped up also just so we can see more.
Yeah, that's good.
The
Yeah, I guess
fish.
overall impressions.
My overall impression is that this is a very good game. I like the style of it. I like the story. I had like some things I collided on with the just being bad at the gameplay, but I got through it. I got through it.
Mm.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. I feel that.
Darius, how about you?
Yeah,
Well,
that's it.
I actually have not played through this yet here, so I'm really just observing right now.
Oh,
I've only watched some people play through some of the gameplay.
good
Yeah, I
heavens.
haven't been able to pick this up yet.
Good heavens.
I would
That's
say
legit.
for me, um, my feelings are mixed on the game. I did realize some of the stuff was my fault. Like I was having big issues with navigation, but that was because I forgot about the thread thing. Um, however, I can definitely see why they included that feature. I didn't. I don't think some games it's like okay, they just hand holding you. This game, I think I don't know. Some of the navigation was not clicking for me, um, and just stuff. So I was like, yep, this is a game where I kind of needed the thread. Sometimes it was also because the environment of me, I was trying to get through it. So I think I was probably more um, sensitive to derailments than if I was just playing like super casually. I'll take my time with it type of thing. Um,
Is what she doing right now the thread thing that you're talking about,
yeah,
where
where
she
like the
made that table or
pathways
whatever?
hop around.
Mm.
Yeah, where it's like, it basically
Okay,
telling
yeah,
you where to go. Um,
gotcha.
and the combat is a big negative for me. I would say they tried. That's kind of how I would phrase it. They tried. It's not nothing. But I think I realized in like, wait, Tim, you were there for me in what, chapter 5, right? I don't think you left before I got to chapter 6. So chapter
Right.
5,
Yeah.
which is maybe like, let's say a third through the game, I was just like, I think I've seen all this game has to offer in terms of combat, and at this point,
It was
I
it
don't
was
want
true.
to go through like the chore of battles anymore. So I like turned the difficulty down. As I went further along, I actually changed it up again. I made it what another positive though is they have great accessibility settings in here, between a lot of things, even for like the gameplay. And I really liked how they had the you could customize the difficulty. I would very much wish more games did stuff like that. But I think maybe around chapter 8 or 9 or something like that, I switched it to where like the enemies are super weak, but they're also super aggressive, and I can heal quickly. So I was just trying to make like a basically like more high octane where I gotta move and I can get through them quickly, but I'm not slugging out combos and stuff. Because it was
Okay.
also
Okay.
annoying
Okay.
to me with like at their normal health, you do a combo, and there's always at some point where they're just gonna become invincible and interrupt your combo, and I'm like, why? Like it got pretty frustrating when like I just have to wait because the game said so, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's other games that do that too, and I'm not a fan. Um, but yeah, I think the combat was a big negative, and it's also pretty weak enemy variety. I think they give you
Mhm.
maybe like one enemy in the beginning. They keep like the same. I feel like starting 4 for like the bulk of it, and then
Mhm.
once you get to like chapter 6, they start giving you like one new enemy type a chapter. But you're still basically fighting the same enemies the whole time, and they don't really change up too much. Like they look different, but you're still gonna be mashing square or X the whole time to get through them and
Mhm.
stuff like that. But yeah, that's kind of at least
Yeah.
maybe to
I think
focus
I
there on
remember.
the
I don't think I
combat for
put a
people.
note down. I don't think I put a note on my. Like I was looking at my notes. I made notes as I was playing the game. I don't think I made an actual written note about it, but mental note um, is like, yeah, the enemy variety. Like I think it was like every chapter, every 2 chapters was like someone new, but like, and they start to kind of mix and match them together here and there, of course, as well.
Yeah,
But you know, some work better than others, and then some are just annoying. I forget which one. I think the really big blobby person,
yeah,
who has the AOE move and can also do like the giant beam. That was a pretty annoying creature to deal with.
yeah,
Um, yeah.
yeah. They didn't feel very like they do slightly different things, but they didn't feel very different. Very kind of, I don't know, I don't know if binary is the right word, but they are very simplistic enemies. Also,
Mhm.
I think maybe I'll rewind a little bit, or maybe I'll push forward to the next segment. But if y'all saw in the footage when they like, 'cause for y'all that haven't played it or whatever, when they turn yellow,
Oh yeah, they're invincible.
yeah, they're invincible. You can't do anything. None of your spells work. There's no way to interrupt it whatsoever, and you will get hit if you stick around. So it's just basically, oh, you do a combo, it's time to dodge now, and it's that loop doesn't really change. Yeah, right there. He becomes yellow. He does a AOE burst, and you just have to get out the way because he said it's my turn. Um, I would also say they don't even change the framing of the battles throughout the game. Like literally, you go into every single chapter is you go
Yeah, it's
into
always the
a
same.
very clearly indicated arena that is circular. I think they're always even
Yes,
circular. They're not even different
they're
shapes.
always circular.
They're always
Yeah.
circular. It has a little thing in there. You fight like 5 or 6 enemies, and then you rip the thing out, and then that's it. And it's
Right.
always that. There's never any other aspect to it. Like I don't even they can have it like you fight them, but then like in the swamp, like with the creature that's throwing
Yeah,
blood
like if they
everywhere.
had like a larger area, right, where you have to like progress through to defeat them or something. Like it's always
Yeah,
always just a single small arena.
and a lot of
There's
the
no variance. There's no like variance with the terrain or anything, or like
No,
state like the
mm-mm.
stages being different.
variance
Okay.
in
Not for
terms of
combat.
texture,
Not for
but that's
combat.
about it.
Oh,
They changed the texture.
Yeah.
um,
wild.
and that's also something I feel like a missed opportunity because like most of the chapters they frame the boss. Like
Yeah.
you got Two Toe Tom or what's the bird Rafalia or whatever the
Roo.
bird thing is called. All the kinds of
Roo.
things. Yeah. So like you see them throughout the level usually, or they're hinted at. I feel like that could have been something where they can also like influence the battles to add some pizzazz to it, but they don't.
Yeah, true.
But yeah. Any
I
other
honestly,
thoughts about
I
gameplay?
so for me, I actually found the combat like pretty good, but I think that kind of just goes to I don't play that many action games like in this sort of like vein. So for
Mm.
me, just getting down to dodging, getting down to be able to get the hits in and all of that, it was enough of a challenge on the basic what's it called. But I do agree, it's kind of like it's very non-integrated with the rest of the game. There's the combat arena, and then there's the rest of the game, essentially.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of an action head, so yeah, I have probably higher standards because I'm coming from like playing the Devil May Cry franchise, God of War, Ninja Gaiden, all that kind of stuff. So I can get a little bit spoiled with stuff like that.
I do can say like I was not like, oh man, I guess I can make it harder now. You're like, no, I don't think I went any harder
Right.
than it was. Like it was good enough to be a challenge to get through the game, but I don't feel like I want to master the combat in this game.
You felt
That's
like
a
there
good
was something to
description.
master? Like what would you think would be something like if you were to put
Well,
in
that's
time that you would want to like hone in on?
for me. I had to do a whole lot of like balancing between the different mobs. So you had like the ones that were attacking you from distance. You had the ones that would sweep in on you, and so like for me, an important part was trying to understand who to kill first, so I had an easier time with the others.
Mm.
And I think you can definitely go more with that, but I feel like the higher levels are just going to be more monsters, harder monsters, longer, not necessarily anything new.
Mm.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
I feel like my formula that I discovered pretty much that works without fail is whatever the biggest enemy is at the start. I have you turn them into an ally temporarily and have
Hmm.
them get on the weaker enemies. I'll clear them out. Usually, I'll clear them out fast enough that the other one is still like an ally, and then they'll just let me hit them and then get them out. And then they always the other kind of small critique, this definitely is a nitpick, but still irked me a little bit, is in the arenas, you always have to wait for the next wave. Like there's not a steady flow. It's like, oh, I cleared them. Now I have to wait a beat. And even like I see them conjuring. I've had some very frustrating moments where like I see them conjuring into the wind or like in the cloud things, and I'm trying to like get started because like I want to get it over with, and then I end up getting hit before before I even get to land a hit. They hit me while they're spawning because I guess they can just do that. And I'm just like,
It's
just
funny.
get your hitbox already. Come on, man. But
That's
yeah.
funny. That's a
Um,
good point.
I think yeah, I was saying to Tim in the stream yesterday. I think the game could have very much benefited from an additional regular attack button, having like a heavy attack that you can like intersperse with to be able to do a little bit more. Um, and I also, I guess this is well, is this? I guess to take a step back, would this game be considered AAA?
No, this is more of a double A title.
It's double A? Okay, because like
Yeah.
like because it
Yeah, I'm
is
pretty sure it's
under
double A.
it's under Xbox and um
Third party.
who's this
Let's say
Compulsion? They've been
publisher-wise,
around for a
Xbox,
minute,
but
but yeah, okay, we can go ahead and
developer-wise,
Did you
call
say
it double
double
A.
A.
Darius?
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, I was just saying, developer-wise, though, double A. The publisher was just Xbox.
Yeah,
Right.
but Compulsion's been around for a little minute. I know they had some
Yeah.
titles, but yeah, I think yeah, double A is probably a more fair thing to do. to say for them that contextualizes some things. But I was gonna
Yeah,
say
yeah,
that crap. I actually lost my train of thought.
yeah. You're like you're asking about the AA, AAA thing for a reason.
Yeah, yeah. I really was. I was right there, and then it was oh, I now remember. Unraveling. That's such a core component of the game and the gameplay. Obviously, you do it in the world, and it's fine. But I thought for the actual arenas and the battles, I would have liked a little bit more intensity to the unravelings, because when you do it, it seems very much like it's just she just pokes the little beam and then it dissipates. The bigger monsters, you get a little bit more of that grit where she's like, "Arr!" and stuff like that, and I enjoyed that.
Hmm.
But I would have enjoyed, but considering how much you do it and that it is kind of core to the combat loop, because unraveling makes your cooldowns quicker. I would have liked there to
Yeah.
be a little bit more intensity or just like spectacle to the unraveling, kind of like almost making it like Doom-esque, like how they got the glory kills. Now, granted, none of
Oh, I
those are
see.
usually very long. Like they still are snappy, but you're just like bah bah. There's a
It's really
reward system
impactful,
to
right?
doing it itself. Yeah, that
It
was
feels
one
good
thing.
every time you do it, kind of
Yeah,
thing, right?
versus in this game,
Yeah.
it's really just like, boop. All right, I got stuff. But yeah,
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I see what you
um,
mean about that. Yeah, it's yeah, yeah, yeah. It definitely doesn't like really feel amazing. It has some impact, but it's like kind of lacking in some areas, and they don't really they don't really do much to build off of it too heavily, except for like some of the passives that you mentioned, right? That you get to upgrade, but like yeah, there's not a lot to it.
yeah,
I could definitely see like a version where they either added mechanics to it as far as like how you unravel somebody, or just making it more punchy at a certain point with like certain, the larger creatures when you unravel them, it's a more impactful, more camera, more, just a little bit more pizzazz. Um, that kind of stuff. The AOE is like larger for the bigger creatures or whatever, just like stuff like that to make it. Yeah, I can see that.
now, how about the other aspect of gameplay which you haven't touched on? The platforming. How do people feel about that?
See, now here's one I got to complain about, especially like the running through. I think is a great example. Like I felt the running parts, like
Oh, when
it was
being chased.
intriguing. Yeah, when you're getting chased, it was thematically good, but completely uninteresting as far as gameplay goes. It's really just hold forward, jump at the right time,
Yeah,
and it just robbed it of any real tension. Like it really was. If I got hit by something, it was because I fucked up or the geometry was weird or something. It wasn't. I don't know. Just did not work for me. And the same thing with like the climbing sections were just. I think by having the grab be a different button, I just was constantly jumping up to try to grab and then falling, and it was like, oh well, now I fucked that up again. So
wait, the grab was a different button for you?
for me, it was like A and then B. I had to press to be able to grab a second one. If I did A twice, it would jump. It would
To
jump
jump.
What?
essentially.
Right.
That wasn't my experience.
Yeah, I
I
think
always
that's.
had auto grab.
Oh yeah, auto grab. Okay.
I don't know if I did something with the settings or not, but I don't recall. Maybe I did. I don't know.
That might be part of the difficulty settings, but yeah, I had to manually grab, and it was B rather, like it was A to jump, B to grab, and that just kind of confused me because I'd rather them just be both the same button.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Hmm.
Yeah, maybe that was a setting that I got. Maybe I like got even when I first played it, because I think I played this back in what April or May when we first got put on the list, and then I jumped into Expedition 33. So maybe when I was first playing, I got so annoyed with it that I just changed the settings immediately, and then when I came back to it, I just assumed it was already that way. But yeah, I had mine the auto grab. Yeah, I would not.
Yeah, I'm one of those fools that's like, oh well, you intended the game to be like this, so this is annoying, but I'm gonna keep playing on it because this is your intended experience.
Nah, I'd be like, nah, it's my game
Yeah.
now.
That's the
Yeah.
right way. That's the right way.
Hmm. That's a good point though about the platforming. Yeah, because breaking the game down a bit, right? Like you have your combat, you have your platforming sections, you have your obviously your narrative, delivery of everything, and then very very light puzzles, very very light, um,
Hmm.
you know, but yeah, the platforming part is like I think it's definitely, at least for me, it was like a step like somewhat above the combat,
Yeah,
but like also like just mostly serviceable primarily. Um, but the part that I liked is that like you unlock some of those abilities that you use, um, like the ability to make things platforms out of nothing for a little while, and the weaving. And it's like, okay, that's a nice little extra thing to kind of like use, and you end up using that a little bit during like some of the Kushma chase sections too, right? Where you have to like weave the platform in front of you to use it to jump while you're running away, and that's like a nice extra. Um, but yeah, I feel like there wasn't like enough of kind of like that combination between Hazel's abilities and like the actual like platforming like challenges. You know, things were just kind of like a little bit like one note a lot of the times for some of the platforming sections, because it didn't really like do much to expand on um, the mechanics or the narrative, especially after like chapter 5, chapter 6. It's
yeah.
just
You
kind of
kind
like
of like
you just do it to do it,
your full kit
kind
is
of thing.
essentially established after chapter 5, but there's still a lot of game
Right,
to go after that.
right. Yeah, and that's a little unfortunate. I do think that like they could have expanded the chasing running sequences a bit, because it's very much like an infinite runner. Like I've played plenty of those, but there's just not a lot of like moving parts to it. It's just kind of you just do the thing, jump on the walls and run along them, avoid the spikes. But there's no moving obstacles or other type of creatures to deal with or anything like that. It's just kind of like just kind of rinse and repeat the similar challenges. They're a little different every time and harder, but like it's the same things most of the time.
Yeah, like what I'm hearing is that like there's like the game relatively speaking is good. It's just that the gameplay seems to be after a certain point it gets solved. Like everything is like they don't really vary the mechanics and stuff after a certain point. Like
Hmm.
you're just doing the same thing. And
Well,
that's not.
Yeah.
for me personally, just me, I will say I don't think this is a good game. I think it's a mediocre game, but it's a good
Ooh, mediocre.
experience,
Ooh.
which is different.
Ooh.
The
Ooh.
world, the character designs, the music, there's so many great aspects of this game that I actually think it's I mean of South of Midnight as an idea, as a concept, but I actually think it's being held back by being a game. Um, I think towards the end, I just had the epiphany. I was like, this would make a killing as just a movie. And I
Sure.
had that thought, and actually I looked at some reviews again, and someone else had that same thought. It's like this should have been a TV show or a movie, and this would have like been like praised all around. But the fact that it is a game and it has so many shortcomings as a game, ultimately kind of like for a lot of other people undermines all the good aspects that are there, because you just some people like gameplay is king, like that's all they care about, and I like
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm more kind of a hybrid, but I still respect those people that do say like all I care about is the gameplay and narrative and all the other kind of stuff is fluff. For those people, I think this will be a very disappointing game for them.
Oh yeah, this is not for them. This is
Yeah.
I
not for
give you
them.
that.
Yeah.
But it could
I
have
agree.
been, or at least like my disappointment lies in seeing all the potential that this game had, and just wishing that it could have been more. Because I also don't feel like this is the type of game that's going to be like a franchise or anything, regardless of sales. Like it just seems like it's a one and done from its structure. And if this is all that we get from it, I just wish it could have been more. I'm glad that we have this. Like I'm very happy that it exists. But it's just when I think about all that it could have been, that's where the disappointment comes from.
Like
Hmm.
what do you think could have like I mean, what changes do you think could have been made to make this a bit more, to make it a bit more entertaining or engaging for you? It seems like the story is good,
Well, it's
but
the
it's
game
mostly the
part, right?
gameplay.
It's
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
like
it's the combat platforming mix. It's
yeah.
not anywhere near like a master class at any of these elements, right? Like it does them decently enough because this is the team's first time doing these things in a game. Um, but it doesn't expand upon any gameplay like design in like modern day in any way. It doesn't expand on any of it, you know. It just kind of like does enough to kind of communicate what it's trying to do, move the story along, kind of make it, you know, serve as like this is what Hazel does to, you know, that connects the narrative and the gameplay together, but like it doesn't really like add a lot of extra stuff, you know. Um, it's yeah, it's just not deep enough, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of just all the things that we've like already talked about. Now, I will say I kind of didn't chime in on the platforming. I didn't mind the platforming. I actually thought it was more on the positive side, but there's a key
Yeah.
distinction. I think when you slow it down and you're doing the exploration part, because then it's more you're taking your time. It's more broken up. That's where it can seem more shallow. But if you kind of take like a speedrunner approach, like when I was like getting towards the late in the night, when I was like, all right, I'm trying to get through this, I actually found the platform to be more fun. Where it's like I'm just trying to get like, cause she's a runner, and I actually think she does
Mm-hmm.
feel that way. Like I actually like her running animation for the most part. Like I feel like you do get a good amount of, speed with it. Like she looks like she's running. I feel like even like there's a slight vibration with it. Like there's impact to her running. I think they sold that very well. So when you're like, I'm just trying to get to the objective because I don't even care about exploring no more. Like basically my mindset towards the end was unless I very obviously see like a bit of floof somewhere and I know I can get it pretty quick, I'm just heading straight to where the quest line is. And when you're doing that and you're just kind of like, okay, I'm going here, boom, 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 and just moving, it actually feels really good. But if you're playing it kind of like in a more normal sense where you're like, I'm gonna do the exploration and all that kind of stuff, and you're more, you're kind of constantly having to stop and go, then I think it doesn't it doesn't do well in slow motion. The platforming in this game. Some games can do that, like a Super Mario or something like that. I don't think this game does well in slow motion.
That is wild. Like, I mean, it makes sense, but it is like, I feel like as a game, if you, that's like the one thing you never want to hear, where it's like, oh, the the platforming feels good when you're not, when like, and the platforming everything feels great so long as you're not trying to explore the world, and you're just like, oh,
Well, it's because exploration in this game is pretty cheap. So that's another thing.
Yeah,
It's like
there's
you
not
turn a corner,
much
floof,
need for it.
you turn over a tin whatever shed thing, and that's it. Like I realize that everything gets revealed by like chapter 5. I guess or anyone is
Yeah.
like whatever you experience is at chapter 5. That's basically your experience for the rest of the game. But I just realized, oh, I turn a corner, all I'm gonna do is get some floof. There's not like a story beat or hardly anything
Yeah,
else.
yeah, there's no like voice notes to find or like any other like lore stuff. Like you find a few things like when you're walking by houses and things, but like that's on the main path still, you
And it's
know,
usually
like
pretty incidental. Like it's not like
yeah.
hmm,
changing too
I
much.
see.
And there's
Right.
Well, and
also like it's not like the critical path is the critical path. There's not like what could have made it better is if you could just find alternate routes to different places, but that's not really the case. You go turn down this corner, you get the floof, and you come back and do stuff like that. If they could have made it a little bit more interwoven, or like there's multiple ways to get to a spot, then it would have been more enjoyable. But yeah, it's, if I think it does get better if you're just keeping through, and that's not necessarily a bad thing because I also think of like I love the game Mirror's Edge. If y'all remember that from back in the day, that's
Oh
also a
yeah.
game where it's like it's linear to an extent, but they also did have a thing. There's multiple avenues to get through. But it is about like I'm just moving, moving, moving. But that felt like really good, and I kind of get like this is like a Mirror's Edge Junior to me, and how good it can feel when you're doing that. But I feel like that's not going to be a lot of players' instinct because you probably do want to explore, and they have exploration elements, but they're just very hollow. If you ignore it, I think the game gets better.
Mm.
I actually thought, for me, I thought the exploration was the main part because that's what's interesting to me in the game. I do, however, agree that a lot of the times my reward for exploring was just floof or a tin thing.
Right.
And I was so frustrated because it was like I was taking the time to go off the path to explore because I saw I wasn't getting all the papers that you find. But I'd go off the path and still not find any papers and still be missing so many. And like, that's about the only thing I wish I could have found more of and would have replayed for it. But oh,
Yeah.
it's cool. Like if I don't find everything, that's fine. But I was shocked with how little of those they found for the amount they give you.
Wild. I mean, that makes sense, but also just damn.
Yeah, it's best to just, in my opinion, it's best to just ignore the exploration, unless you like feel like you need the floof to upgrade. But then like I feel like the combat for me was like simple enough, or at least I wasn't invested in it enough because I like turned the difficulty down and stuff like that to get through it. If you're not
Yeah.
seeking out the floof to upgrade, then it's best to just ignore most of the stuff. Because I also think they frame most of the most impactful side content is pretty close to the critical path anyway, so where you'll probably see it in your purview. So if you're just doing like where I'm heading to the quest line, but anything that's like near enough, convenient enough, I'll check it out. It gets a lot better. But if it's just like, let me go through this sprawling path and jump up some things and climb up this thing so I can get some floof, I'm like, nah, miss me with that.
I see.
True.
I see. I see.
But yeah.
All right.
I guess
That's
with
real.
half of us have played it, so I guess just to kind of start wrapping it up, narrative wise, how are people feeling without trying
Well,
to
and I
be
think
too spoilery?
I think to me the narrative is by far the most interesting thing. I was already interested in the story, the way the characters are designed. It was like someone like in the very first part where you're preparing for the hurricane, or where I was like, I walked in, I saw the first white person in the game. I'm like, oh shit, that looks like a relative of mine or something like that I've seen from North Carolina. And then like the attention to things of like talking about company towns, talking about like slavery, like talking about like just pig shit, like as someone who's came from the South, like I felt like it got that very good. The style is great, the acting is great, the characters are interesting. So like I really, really like the narrative. So, but I can definitely, but yeah, no, I'm just gonna stick with that. I like the narrative. I thought it was good and tied together and introduced things. Like I think the ending could have been a bit better, but they, I'm not angry that they chose the ending they chose.
Mm.
Yeah, I wasn't
Yeah.
upset by it.
I
Yeah,
hear
it
that.
was maybe lackluster, but it was just kind of like a shrug to me, not a oh this is crap type of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm. I hear that. I hear that. Um, does anyone, real quick, does anyone remember, is it chapter 10 or 11? Trying to remember, like, there's the mermaid, giant mermaid creature,
Hmm.
and the giant boat,
Hmm.
Hmm.
the ghost boat. Which chapter was that?
Might have been 11 actually, 11, 10 or 11.
Really? 10 or 11?
Oh yeah, that's the thing. That chapter was so good for me. I think especially because of the way they did the music.
Oh yeah, 11. Okay, that's the one. The swamp. Yeah.
They
Okay.
like so like a lot of it is just talking about this woman who's trying to keep onto her baby, and you
Right.
hear like low mumbling of singing this lullaby. And then as you go through, eventually it becomes clearer and clearer, and then it's just playing all the way through, and that just I don't know, that hit me just so well.
True. Yeah, I think that's a good note about that. Like I did make a note about like the musicality and sound design of the world and the in certain chapters, especially like that one, like chapter 11. I think what's the other ones that really stood out? That chapter with what was her name? I forget her name, but that one was a story. Hugging Molly's chapter, which is what, chapter 9. Um, and then the Rougarou chapter with the boyfriend.
Mhm.
Um, can't remember his name right now either. But that one
Oh, the
too. Like
Laurent.
those were like Laurent, yeah, Laurent, yeah, yeah. Those I think those did a great job at that thing that what you're talking about, Chimera, like that building of the song as you progress in the chapter. Um, and I think it's great because it starts out as like a mystery of like you hear some of these notes and some of these like music like these like lyrics and you're like what is this talking about, right? And then as you like start to learn, as you do your platforming, right, and you pick up little pieces and you run into these other moments in the narrative, you start to kind of like piece it together and like then it starts to click like what the music is hinting at and then what's happening in the narrative and it starts to like come together into one thing towards the end, and it's like really powerful.
That's I think this is I haven't gotten to this part, but I vaguely remember hearing bits about this. Like I heard whispers of like, oh, there's some level where the music and the story resonate, and this sounds like what you're talking about. And I think that's
Yeah,
cool. That sounds really freaking great, and I can't wait to get to that part. Um, but
yeah,
like
there's
the
literally like in the Rougarou chapter there's literally whispers in that chapter for the Rougarou. It's like Rougarou. It's saying that in the background just a little bit, like this is what's going to come later, and you're who's the Rougarou? You're like wondering. It's
dang.
like
For
Well,
good.
and
me, I was
I
kind
think
of
that's what,
mixed on that,
okay.
and it's more like personal preference. I guess I don't like when music is super on the nose. I kind of like it
That
being more in the
that one
abstract.
I know is a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I feel like that was the thing I noticed sometime is like, well, it's always on the nose, but I guess some are more on the nose than others. Some are
Some
like
are
stabbing you
more
in the nose. Um,
right.
so I
The
kind of
Rougarou
like it.
chapter was very much on the nose,
Yeah.
100%.
You know how long I've been
Also,
waiting for this?
welcome.
Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
That's actually the most appropriate time to have that kind of intro. That's very fitting. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, like some like I don't know. For me, I kind of like more abstract. Like I feel I do give it credit for having like first of all the music is good. Also first and foremost, like just in terms of just like arrangements and building up and all that kind of stuff. Just sometimes ultimately I want the music to be background, um, and it would kind of be this not necessarily the star of the show, but be like noticeable to a negative degree for me personally.
Interesting.
But I'm also the type of person that like I didn't like the music segment in Sinners either, so that kind of probably can
Oh,
color
interesting.
my thing. Like that segment when they first like um when Preacher Boy is playing and they go through all the errors and stuff, I fucking hated that part. So that probably lets you know
Oh
about
Lord.
me musically.
Yep. There's a personal preference going on.
Yeah, yeah. There's some me's in there, but yeah, overall music was really well done and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's good.
Go.
I
I
think
guess going back to the narrative though,
oh,
like yeah, there's that's where a lot of it shines is like character design, man. I actually I don't even think I memorized the people, but I when I rolled credits, I made sure like I want to read the name of the lead character designer and art director and stuff like that, because I think that
True.
deserves unanimous praise. Like this game looks beautiful. All like the only character that I really did not fuck with was the mom. She just looked uncanny to me. She looked unsettling. Like I don't know if she was like one of the last ones to get finalized or something, but it looked like she needed some more work. Like her eyes are too big. Her face shape looks. She looked like her face is swollen. Like she just got a lot of problems to me. Everybody
Damn.
else looks great, but Mama, I don't. They did her dirty.
Sheesh.
Damn.
Sheesh. It's like, no, like put that bag back on.
Yeah,
Get
I'm
off
just
your
like
face.
she was. I first the first scene with her, I was like, is the game glitching? I was like, oh no, that's just her face. Okay, all right,
Oh
cool.
Lord.
Yeah, she doesn't look right to me, but Hazel is amazing. All of her outfits are awesome. Like they really do black hair well in this game too. Like even like if you see now, like I feel like they have like the perfect amount of like sheen to her hair. You know, like any girl or person with braids, like you know, you're gonna have a little bit of that oil in there and stuff like that. and I feel like you can see that through the
True.
graphics, which is amazing. Like they did the hair so great for like everybody. Everybody designed well. Like yeah, literally the only L in the entire game to me was Lacey in terms of character design.
Poor mama.
Even like the little like uh Sinbad Magic Johnson looking Lakeith Stenfield person at the end. Um,
Oh,
he
you
he
talking
was
about Rue?
interesting.
Talking about Rue, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I liked his aesthetic. I thought he looked very unique. Also, yeah, that's a good credit too. This team, this studio is not a black-centric team. I believe they're, mostly white people, but I think they put a lot of care into creating like, you know, these black characters in terms of design, mannerisms, all this type of thing. Like it did not feel to me like a phone in or like they did their research. I really feel like they did their research and they tried to be give an authentic experience.
Yeah, you
Everybody's
can tell.
yeah,
You can
everybody's
tell.
grounded, but they have unique flair. Like to me, like Hazel does stand out. Like I feel like if I see a picture of Hazel years from now, from me playing the game, I'm still gonna be like, oh, that's Hazel from South of Midnight, even though she's a very grounded
Iconic.
character.
Yeah. Mhm. Very true. They did a great job on her.
Wow.
Who was other
Yeah.
people's like favorite character in terms of like design? I'm interested in that.
I
But I
mean,
just put
Rue.
Laurence in the chat.
Laurent, yeah, you like Laurent? Yeah, he's cool.
I think
Definitely
I have to go
brushes
with
his
Rue
hair. Wave
Laurent.
game crazy.
Wave game crazy.
Shoot, I gotta see all these characters. There's like, I don't know the name, but I know there from the trailer there was this like guy kind of looked like a zombie, but he seemed chill.
Mm,
I think this might be
A
the character you're
zombie.
talking about.
the
Like
boat
he
the
looked
boat
like,
farer, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, the boat farer. Oh, him.
Hmm.
That was a surprise. That was a nice little element to see. Like it was kind of like Hades, right? Like going to the boat to go to the land of death, right?
Yeah.
It kind of felt like that. Yeah. I'm sure there's like a narrative there about like from like hoodoo culture, like the boat farer at the crossroads to kind of take people, um, kind of thing. That was
Yeah.
really interesting.
The
Yeah.
one thing I will say about the narrative is, uh, it felt like they had reached the conclusion with this game, and then Xbox told them you need to make this longer, and then they scrambled.
Oh shit.
That's what it feels like to me, because
Oh no, you
even
think
like
this?
this part that we're in now that it's shown in the
This
gameplay,
section
this
is
is like the
good.
start of like the game, the narrative kind of going on taking a curve to get back to the main point. I feel like it was very focused up until the crescendo when you have
You go
Molly.
to the town, right? Oh, Molly. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then stuff happens, and I feel like we should go in one direction, but we go in a different direction, and maybe it could have been interspersed a little bit better, but the fact that it made it when it did, I was like, okay, this seems like it was an afterthought, or like they were like, we need to put more game here.
Which section is this that we're in right now?
This is the swamp. This is what the
Oh, this is the
baby,
swamp. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
the baby in the boat.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, the swamp is like narratively, as far as like the main story, it's not connected to the main story really.
Yeah, it's a straight up
Which is
side story.
interesting. Yeah.
Well,
Go ahead, come here.
yeah, I guess for me, I wasn't expecting things to be connected to the main story because I kind of took it as in like you come to every area, something bad has happened here, there's some big monster, and what you're basically doing is finding out what happened to you, how that led to the monster, and if it has any relation to you, I mean that's lucky because I mean even like Catfish's story, like yeah, you free
Yeah, Cat.
Catfish, but it doesn't really relate to Hazel that much at all.
Mm.
Yeah. Same thing about that same section in that when you free catfish is yeah, with the tree, right? Yeah.
Yep,
It's,
Benji.
yeah, not relevant at all. Yeah.
I guess
But
those felt more incidental, in case like because you already know like this is along the way, as opposed to
Yeah.
like I don't know, like once the main antagonist is revealed, because obviously trying to avoid spoilers, but once you know who the real antagonist is, I feel like that should be like, I don't know, more beelined and like I feel like they could have made the story focus more on that aspect, but they took some more liberties
Yeah.
and stuff like that. That it wasn't unwelcome, but it's also like that is some of the critique that I saw other people making of like, where is this kind of going? Even like this section with like there's like, you're playing a game with that thing and stuff like that, or it's like there are lives at stake, and like yeah, like you got told you're supposed to do it, but like that seemed like a narrative pull. Like yes, you must do the thing so that you can get this. It's like nah, I'm be like no, I don't want to play right now because my mom is in danger.
My mama.
Yeah,
Right.
Oh yeah, that is. I've noticed a lot of games sort of have like that that feeling where like I'll be playing a game and I want to get to. Oh, I guess it's I guess it's the funny narrative design word of ludonarrative dissonance,
yeah,
where it's like I want to. The main plot is I want to get like you've established the main plot. Family members in trouble. I need to go save them. Why are we doing all this other stuff?
yeah. And I
Like
feel like they did a good
we're
job for the most part, just until toward the end, which is why I think that was like they got told or like they decided like we need more game here. But at first they were like they thought they were good, but then they weren't. That's my theory.
Mhm.
gotcha.
Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, because this is okay. So yeah, this is the swamp chapter, chapter 11, and then after this you go and you meet Rue after this, I think, right? Um,
And even him, like I don't know, that whole
yeah.
thing felt like I said, like a curve. Like that fit, that could have fit worse. Like I do think they made it fit in. I give them
Because
like
he was
a
there from the beginning, right?
was he?
They teased him. Yeah, they teased Rue.
Well, he's supposed to be the chaser or whatever, right? Or something like that, or he's connected
Well,
to it.
He's the
Kushma's the
helper.
chaser, but
Yeah.
He
he's
utilizes it.
egging you on and like scaring. So he does show up earlier, but like you don't really
Right.
know it's him, and
And
Yeah,
yeah,
then
you
and
wouldn't
then and
know
then they
it's different.
tease him. They tease him really secretively in a couple other like after each of the chase sequences, right? Like that
yeah,
there's a voice
yep.
and it's like I don't know who this fucking is, but okay. Sure.
And then
Yeah.
the main antagonist, I think everybody knows who I'm talking about. I
Yeah.
did not like that they framed them as pretty one-dimensional. Like I think it was pretty obvious that they were gonna end up being a form of antagonist from the jump, but I didn't
Yeah.
think that they were just gonna be like pure evil. I was hoping that there'd be a little bit more nuance in that. Um,
Hmm.
so I was a little
Hmm.
bit disappointed in that. That like I think they could have did them a little more justice and like have their motivations and stuff like that, or even making them a little like somewhat sympathetic. Because I feel like most people
Hmm.
are like, I don't give a f about that person. Like I'm happy that they gone. Like I have no remorse. And it didn't
Right.
have to be that
Right.
way.
I
Right.
no, I am glad that they were not at all like because honestly, like the thing I worried about was I felt like there was a lot of there was a lot of otherwise sympathetic white people, which so it's a little bit of a spoiler. Yeah, yeah, and like I just immediately felt like when I met, I was like, I knew like, oh no, this they're not going to help you. This isn't the person you want to be going to help. But you want to believe it. I get why you want to believe it because same with same with me and some of my family members. But
Oh yeah, I
That's
mean,
real.
yeah,
That's real.
there's no secret. We fully know those people exist. But yeah, I don't know. I think it just makes a more compelling story to have. Like it's
Hmm.
real. That's like no, like I definitely can't deny that it's real. They did do that, but I think for just a more compelling story, it's better to have. I appreciate more. We could be like, or I appreciate more of of in the dynamic that is framed in this story. I would appreciate
Yeah.
more where you're like, do I want to pull my punch, or like I would appreciate having that kind of turmoil as opposed to just like, nah, fuck them.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
Personally, I did feel that a little bit in the earlier chapters, especially in the chapter where you learn about the magic that she used, intentionally or non, right, to uh for her daughter, and I was like, I was like, okay, I understand the trauma. I understand, the situation here, and kind of like her anger around, the loss, right? And how she lashed out against her other children and stuff like that in the process. Like, I think that was the one that like Hazel was like, I should help her, or I should help out. And I was like, yeah, you might be right, but then I think that just shows, like, at least for me, it was showing just how that trauma, after a while, it festers so deeply, and you become so engrossed in that anger that you become irredeemable at a certain point, as she became. It was like, oh, this woman's she's just bad. She can't be helped anymore. Like, it's just gotten too far. That's what it felt like for me. And
She
so at the
doesn't want
end,
to
I
be
was like,
helped.
yeah, okay, fuck her.
But it's also like, I guess at the time the story is revealed, that is kind of the thing where you can be like more sympathetic. But then as it progresses,
Right.
then it's like, yeah, okay, there's no really redeeming qualities here, and I feel like
There's
that's
no
where,
redeem.
for my preferences, they like dropped the ball, because I would have liked to
Hmm.
still be like the, is there something in there, like that kind of thing. But it's like, nah, it's just, if it's fuck me, fuck you too. That's the type of thing. So
Right.
like, even just like some hesitation to like
Hmm.
doing what she did at the climax or whatever,
I see.
you know.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But
Right.
it was like not. It's like, nah,
Not at all.
whatever.
Yeah.
Dang. I gotta play this game and learn what the context of this is, because this just
Yeah,
sounds
yeah, yeah, yeah,
wild.
yeah, yeah. You can like it.
This is
Yeah,
making me
play
want
it,
to
play it.
launch it right now. I'm not installing stuff right now so I can install this.
And then I would also say, I guess, for me, of a good beat, I was really able to relate with Laurent. Because
Laurent,
I feel
yeah, me
like,
too.
yeah, because I feel like
Yeah. They did a great job of his story, I
yeah.
think.
That's the, well. They also they stole my flow. They stole my saying. Hurt people, hurt people. I was like, how dare you? I'm a sue. No, I'm just playing. But no, just like, yeah, I resonated with his story. I feel like it was very, like, you clearly know that he's in the wrong, but a lot of people that have been there, you get it. If
You
you've
get
been
it.
anywhere
Yeah.
similar to where he's been at, you get it.
Right. That part.
I mean,
I was
I
like,
don't,
poor
I
Laurent.
don't know if he was in the wrong given all the fucking bullshit
Yo, his
for
story is so
that.
tragic, bro. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
it's very tragic. Very.
Well, like the past, I don't think there's necessarily wrong there, but like they kind of imply, like a relationship with, the mom and stuff like that. Like they never
Yeah,
outright
yeah.
Oh
say
yeah.
anything,
Yeah.
but there's implied
Yeah.
that there's abandonment and stuff like that. That's kind of where I can kind of see where it's like, but he's like, look, man, I'm bad news for people, and I can't get too comfortable, or like, I guess, yeah, I can just relate to like not feeling like your best self, and like not
Right.
being like, I don't even know if I'm gonna be good for other people. So I'm gonna
Yep,
just stay
yep.
back. And even though they can be like, no, like you're fine, like you're actually doing more harm by going away than you are by staying, that type of thing. But it's just, it's hard to know. What is it? The can't see the forest for the trees type of thing.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It's like, it's the
But
wrong
you
thing to
don't
do,
know.
but it feels very realistic that you do the wrong thing. He do the wrong thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
I
Although,
agree with that.
and then that's once you, I guess, finish up the issues, it was kind of like alarming to me. It was like, wait, you can just do that on demand? Like when they reveal the twist, and it's like, wait, so you just good now? You can just do this?
It's true.
It's like,
That's
okay.
true. That's
Yeah.
so funny.
It's
Um.
Yeah.
installing. The game's installing.
Also, I love this outfit. This is like, okay, dang,
Mhm.
Hazel,
Oh,
Hazel
the
looking
final
kind of bad over
outfit.
here.
That's the New Orleans outfit, right?
Yeah, I was like, all right, Hazel kind of a baddie. That was also kind of, well, I guess I can relate to this too, but they're clearly framing her as an adult, but then like I guess the relationship with mom is very childlike. Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I feel like I'm probably being hypocritical because I feel like if somebody was like viewing me out of context with my mama, like I say mama and all that kind of stuff, I might
Yeah.
seem childish too. Like I feel like maybe we all do that. Like that's probably our one weakness as full-grown adults, if we have like a good relationship with our parents, that we probably tend to be a little bit more childlike with them. But I feel like she'd give me more like teen mommy energy, or like teen I want my mommy energy, as opposed to like young adult like I want to find my mom. To me,
Well,
but
she's
she's also a
18.
young lady
Interesting.
and I'm a guy, so maybe that's also kind of like gender bias and stuff like that.
True. That's a good thing. That's a good thing to know. Yeah. 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 I definitely felt that like it felt natural to me, I guess, as someone putting myself in Hazel's shoes. I was just like, yeah, that feels right.
It didn't feel unnatural to me. It just felt like heavy. Like it was
Hmm.
skewing into above average, I guess. Not completely
Interesting.
unrealistic, but like, okay, clearly this is a
Yeah.
mama's girl. Like this mama's girl to a T.
Right. I mean, her and her mom like best friends, right? It's the
Hmm.
whole thing. So yeah, I think that's all right. I think that's accurate.
Oh, also, I will note, uh, that song at the beginning with Packet, that was not it. I know they tried to be cute, and that's supposed to frame their friendship or whatever. That shit was not it. That was weak. That's another critique. What was it? Pack it up, pack it light. Like, no, get out of here with that. Nah, that shit was whack. 0 out of 10.
That's funny. He said was not feeling that.
They thought they had a hit on there. They was probably in the booth like, ooh yeah, we gonna put that in the game. They gonna love that. I was like, nah, that ain't it. That is not it.
That's funny. Uh,
But yeah, all right. I think we've covered kind of all the aspects. Was there any lingering thoughts overall about the game that anyone wanted to share?
You know, I
No?
swear, if I launch this game and I hear Pack It Up and it's actually good, I'm gonna there's gonna be a message in server. It's either, and it's gonna say something either about me or you. I don't know.
No, I mean like
Like,
well, for a black person especially, I would recommend this game despite all my critiques. Like I don't regret my experience at all. And like I said, there's a lot of good. Um, like I said, I really hope that they make the decision to turn this into a movie. Like I will start a petition to get this shit turned into a movie, because I do like the world and everything here. It's not the best game, but it is a good experience. That is kind of my thing, and I think I also looked at Metacritic for this. So I had guessed that the Metacritic for this was going to be a 78, and it turned out to be a 77. So I was like, damn, I'm good.
True.
The
Hmm.
user
damn.
score
Yeah.
was a
Average.
6.7. So it's a 67, which is noticeably lower. But I do get people's sentiment. This is a thing where, like, I do think us, being, Melanated Game Kitchen, having kind of like cultural connection to it and understanding it more, leans us to more positivity towards it versus someone that with absolutely no context. And this is a global game at the end of the day, right? Or at least it's being presented to a
Right.
global audience.
Right.
So I've seen, like, I was looking at Metacritic, I like saw some like reviews in Spanish and other languages, and those tend to have lower scores, and
Higher.
I'm assuming
Oh,
that
okay.
they don't have there's no context for this. This is completely different, and there's no kind of like endearing things. They're just taking it as it is. And when you have something
Right.
like that, the faults of the game that we've talked about become much more glaring. Because
Yeah,
even
those
I
gameplay issues that were we pointed out are like that's the part that
yeah, and
lowers
that
the
was in
score.
most of the comments. They were just like, nah, this is too repetitive. This is like they
Yeah.
didn't reinvent the formula, all this kind of stuff. There really wasn't. I think I came across like 5 reviews out of all that I went through. I probably went through over 100 that were being like, woke DEI game. This is crap. Like there really wasn't that many reviews like that in there. It was mostly what
Yeah.
seems like genuine critique of people just like, I don't like this because the gameplay is boring or it's too tedious and that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I didn't feel it to the extent that these people did, but I still like, I think their critique is valid. Like I'm not gonna like be like saying like they're a hater if it didn't resonate with them. I am disappointed in the people that are saying, calling this like a quote unquote woke game or something like that, because I do think this is just trying to be an authentic experience. Like I personally did not feel like there was any preaching or being like super on the nose with anything, or trying to be moral grandstanding or anything like that. It was telling a story that had some certain realities to it, But there's some games that are far more heavy-handed with their messaging than this, and it kind of saddens me that just because it has a black-focused ensemble that it gets labeled as a quote-unquote woke game.
Yeah, that's I part of it is just the nature of the quote unquote gamer space. The joke some of my friends will do is like gamer with a hard R, but I don't I don't think that is I don't think like gamer parentheses derogatory, but it's just the space, the current space of like gaming discourse has sort of been co-opted and tainted by a lot of people who just engage in bad faith arguments and don't want to see games that challenge or fundamentally either contradict or expand their worldview. They don't want to see any of that. And so like there's that whole thing where there's like that whole Steam group about people who like just follow games and log games for quote unquote wokeness so people can know not to buy them. And it's toxic. I hate that like the phrase like woke, which was like very much a black thing to just be culturally aware, has just been co-opted and become like social shorthand for, oh, this game has a black or queer person in it, don't buy it. And it's an unfortunate reality that we live in, that this is a place that we live in.
Yeah, I mean, like the saying goes, hurt people hurt people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
On the-
I think. Oh, I was just gonna say one point about that. So
Wayne,
I know I
you're
didn't.
really low, at least for me. I can like barely hear you.
Sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's a little clearer.
Okay. I was basically just saying that I've kind of expected at this point that if there's going to be like any sort of black main character in any type of game, it's just regardless going to be called woke now.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. It's
So like I guess moving forward like that is like fine because I mean our base like the base people playing the game is not gonna think too much about that anyway. So
Oh, true.
I mean, like, see, there's a game. Well, I was gonna say because I don't even think it really ties in completely, but I feel like there's a game like Forspoken, right? It was a game that most people, at least in terms of like dialogue and stuff like that, they don't like it. Even if people are rocking with the gameplay, because I think they were solid there. Like Forspoken was like something that was kind of universally panned for like having like a very unlikable character who happens to be black and that kind of stuff. And I think that funnels into like here where I actually enjoyed Hazel. I think she was well written. She is flawed, but that like character should be flawed. Like
Her character, yeah.
yeah, like I think her overall package is endearing and great. But then
Right.
I feel like for some people, like if you have the experience with like Forspoken, which is maybe like not that great, just because they're black, you then look at this game, it's like, oh, all right, they're gonna be unlikable and like fuck this game or whatever, and you don't really give them a chance or whatever. Some people in
That's
the
a
reviews
crazy-
were saying that they thought Hazel was unlikable. I would assume they didn't play the full game because I mean I guess maybe she does seem a little rough in the beginning. I called her out too when she was backsassing her mama. I was like, who the fuck are you? You know, so maybe some people took some issue with that. I can kind of understand that, but I think her presentation throughout the story, she's a very driven, endearing, caring character. Like she's not nonsensical. She's not super arrogant. She's confident, but I don't think arrogant. I think she balances everything really well. But if you kind of, I can see where if you kind of already predisposed to, you know, view things negatively or
In a certain kind of way, a negative way about
yeah,
these characters.
you'll take it in.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
good
I see
point.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. Like I know we talked about a good bit of stuff today, just as far as like gameplay wise and like some of the story. But there's still even like more stuff that we haven't even talked about yet. Like, which
Yeah,
is
one of the-
crazy. But
Yeah, one thing I want to mention
Go
is
ahead, Chimera.
I saw this very much in parallel to Tales of Kinzera Zhao.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
like That's like a 2D version of this with like different focuses. It felt like.
Yeah, it was from our previous game club.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last time on
Yeah.
MGK's game club.
Well, also somewhere, in fact, it's telling you unique experience, and you can appreciate the experience, but there's obvious flaws that like even charitable people would not deny. I think
Yep.
that was the case with both games, but
Both
it's also
games,
the
right?
case that like if you see there's the flaws and you're not like not even neutral but uncharitable, then you're going to take it to a further extreme of like
Hmm.
True.
no one in this group is calling this game bad, even while we're calling about the flaws, myself included. You know, like I said, I can critique this to hell, but I'm still gonna say at the end of the day, I think it's a good experience. But if you're kind of already in the negative, then you see these flaws, and you're like, this game is trash, 0 out of 10. But for real, like actually 0 out of 10 for some people, and that's just more kind of like, a reflection
Right.
of just not giving any grace whatsoever, which is a little bit, not even a little bit, just unfair.
Well, I mean, that's just a classic.
Er,
You have to be perfect, while other people can be mediocre.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, and I'll go on record to say that I think out of those two games, for example, because of some of the details we haven't gone over, like we haven't talked about the metaphor, we haven't talked about some of the smaller story details for each of the chapters, right? I think holistically that like Deontay pointed out, like gameplay wise, South of Midnight is a bit weak in some core areas, right? And I think holistically, South of Midnight is a better game than Tales of Kinzera in
I
terms
agree.
of like all the elements as they combine into one thing, make a larger
Much more
whole.
dense. Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely more dense, right? But Kinzera is like gameplay first and highlights like, oh, this is a game, and it's like it does that really well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean
you know,
that's overall. I mean, like I just know there's a world where this game could have been fucking phenomenal, where like everybody's like this
right,
takes the
right,
world by storm. And this is like opening the door for black centric characters in video games and stuff like that. Like there is a world where this happens, but it's not this one, and that's what ultimately makes me a little bit disappointed. Because I'm just like, I see the potential so hard. I see that this could have been
right.
amazing with like more time or budget or getting the right personnel and stuff like that. All these type of things, like this could have been so much better. But it's still like I still respect and enjoy for what it is.
Yeah, like
That part.
sorry. I'm far away. Am I still audible?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. Like it could have been great. Is the the end point? I guess it's like it is what it is, but it could have been great.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's
Mhm.
kind of the short and skinny of it. Yeah.
No, that's just short and skinny. That's true. That's true. Yeah, yeah. And also, I'll point out too that like the elements that I took some notes about as well was how well researched they were, not just to the southern stories, and some of the things that I grew up hearing about, but also from the mysticism side of it too, how they like weave and like from the hoodoo culture and some other aspects of root work in New Orleans and other areas where like that southern mysticism, from African roots kind of came in. They did a really good job at like incorporating those into the story and also like some of the ability types and the weaver like as a person, like 'cause that's made up, right? But like they did a good job at like taking those ideas and making something new from it that I haven't seen anyone do, period. And so I felt like there was some really cool representation from like that aspect of our culture that I haven't seen, besides some stuff that I've experimented with. Um, so I thought that was great. I want to see more of that.
Yep.
Yeah, like from the gameplay that I've seen, the game there's like gameplay and story wise, and also but mostly story wise, just the amount of research and care that was put into the story and narrative is not even admirable's not the right word. It's right word. It's like
White
really
world.
really good. Right word. Right.
I feel you.
Like it's really good that they did that. It's like they did an amazing job there. It feels like I think you mentioned it earlier when we started talking about it, or Deontay mentioned it, where it was like there's trade-offs when it comes to game dev, where like you have some areas like everyone on a team sort of has their skills, and when you're working on a project, you have to sort of figure out what area to prioritize. And in this sense, it was like they focused very hard on story mostly. Well, they focused very hard on story, and the gameplay kind of suffered. And it feels like from what it sounds like, they had an idea for the story that was good, and then Microsoft was like, maybe actually change it, and so they had to like catch up with the story, and or do extra like they had to take an extra time cost to make more of the game around this new story to make it longer. And maybe some elements of the story and plot suffered for that, but overall, holistically, they did a really good job with the story. The gameplay just kind of, yeah, but still.
Yep, yep.
Mhm.
Well, alrighty, folks.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
true. That's true.
getting close to one. So we definitely gone over, but it's such good discussion. Um, any last final thoughts before we come to a close?
I am going to put so many thoughts in server once I finish this game.
You look forward to it.
Good luck in finishing,
Thank
Chris.
you. I need it. I need it.
Yeah, I would say, what one game and a movie.
Oh, you're
Looking
breaking up,
forward
Tim.
Oh, you're
Not
breaking
good.
someone
out.
giving
No.
money to.
What was
They
that?
they're grabbing him.
You into
Uh-oh.
Skynet mode, Tim. Skynet mode.
Oh dang.
Now
I
you're
was, I
clear.
was saying, one game and a movie. Looking forward to someone getting budget and money to do a movie version of of this concept.
Oh hell yeah, we need to start the campaign right now.
Hopefully animated.
Yeah,
Hopefully
let's start the
animated as well.
campaign.
If
MGK sponsors the Change.org Turn South of Midnight into a movie. Let's go.
true.
Oh, although that reminds me though, the intro cutscene that was really uncanny to me. Actually, I do like the game graphics version of the stop motion thing.
Oh, the stop motion intro. Yeah.
But the authentic stop motion at the intro, that shit was unsettling. I don't know that.
Oh,
And
really?
I do appreciate stop motion, so it's not like I'm not used to that, but that something was off for that. I was just like, ugh. For me personally.
I like
That's
that.
so funny.
What the hell? In the
You say you like the camera?
I like that it was off because it was kind of creepy and unsettling. I was kind of sad the game wasn't as horror focused as I had hoped.
Oh, true.
Or I guess you know what the issue maybe was for me was it looked like Robot Chicken stop motion animation as opposed to like what is it?
It did.
Gromus and Wallet or whatever you call them. Like
Yeah.
it didn't look like that. And that's kind of more so what I was maybe appreciating, but it looked more like the kind of Robot Chicken with like an extra uncanny realistic filter to it. Yeah.
I see.
Well, alrighty.
Well, I'm gonna look that up again.
Yeah, it's
Put it in the chat.
It's an interesting one. Yeah.
Oh,
And this factory.
You're talking
That
about
was so
Artman
disgusting.
animations.
Oh, was somebody talking? My bad. Darius?
No, I was just saying you're talking about Artman Animations, the creators of Wallace and Gromit stop motion.
Yeah.
Their animation style, yeah.
I don't know. It's just like
That's funny.
I think particularly for like Hazel in that sequence, the eyes looked extra lifeless. Probably because they had like an
Ooh.
actual like doll or action figure for the shooting of it, but you know.
Right.
They,
They're actually like wooden doll figures or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was like that wasn't working for me. This part was fucking disgusting. I hated this segment. I was like, what the? Also, I was like saying I need to call the FDA for this part here because they no factory should be like if you walk into a factory and it look like this, you need to call the police immediately. Not even the FDA. Like they some serial killers straight up. Like no guilty until proven innocent or no innocent until proven guilty. Like call the police, lock them up. They serial killers.
Oh, you talking about the pig farm,
Yeah, where we at right now?
the slaughterhouse?
Yeah, I was like, what in the hell?
Yeah, that was nasty.
That was that was not
It
it.
was nasty as hell.
I mean, like I appreciate it being in there, but I was thoroughly disgusted, which I'm sure that was their goal. And like, good job. You wanted me
Right.
disgusted. I am. Congratulations.
Very much.
Yeah. Alrighty, folks. Well, I think we can end it there. Thank all of y'all for joining. Make sure you get your votes for the next game club if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time.